Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. In the last episode, we finished up our side questing on the Citadel, and then due to some backroom politics, Captain Anderson was forced to step down as commander of the Normandy, and we got handed the keys. So we are now in command of the ship, and ready to go ahead and get out into the galaxy and start getting to work tracking down the conduit and finding and dealing with Saren. So, there is one thing we want to do here before we get to that, which is make rounds of the ship and have chats with everybody. We've already talked to Joker and Presley, so we're pretty much done on the command deck. I don't think there is anybody else to talk to in the comm room, which is the only other thing on this deck. No. So, let's head on down. And start having chats with the rest. We should have Caden. Yes. Over here.
Anything you need, Commander?
I guess we'll go with tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Yes, Eden Prime. Anything else to say?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alright, yeah, he isn't going to have much to say until we actually do another mission. Does Dr. Chakwas have anything to say?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I guess we'll ask about Caden.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
L2?
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
Oh, migraines aren't any joke either. We'll ask about you.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Any regrets?
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
Alright.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay, so we'll head down. And talk to the rest here. Let's see. I don't think we need to talk to the requisition officer, so I don't think there's anything really that I can buy that's worth anything. Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Can't be that bad.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So that was your reason?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. C-Sec's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I guess it was a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Well, that depends.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to... I understand, Commander.
Yeah, we'll try and keep him in line a little bit. Alright, Rex. Now, I was thinking that the dialogue volume was a little low, so I turned it up. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
Well, I guess we'll ask about you.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Oh, come on.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I can imagine.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It isn't?
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Ah, good point.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
I guess we'll ask her about the genophage.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one, and no one's rushing to find a cure.
What?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
I'm sure if any Krogan did seriously attempt to cure the genophage, the Solarian STG would probably have something to say about it. Alright, and we'll ask about extinction.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Oh?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
I see.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright. Now we'll talk to Ashley.
Commander,
How we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Oh, don't blame yourself.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Alright, well, anything you want to talk about?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay, well, later it is then.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
All right, Tally. Actually, no, let's talk to Adams first.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
All right, and we'll ask about the stealth system.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Sounds good. All right, we'll ask about the ship itself.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Drive core?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
All right, we'll ask about
Where
you.
else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
All right, then.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
And now we'll talk to Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Well, this ship is special.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
You like ships?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
Oh, that was 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
All right, well, I guess we'll ask about the pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Okay, and that does sound dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Alright, I guess we'll ask about the Quarians as a people.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
The Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
Alright, so you're democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Alright. And I guess we'll ask about the Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Sounds interesting.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
The neural network?
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
And why did they turn on you?
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Why?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
It sounds like they defended themselves.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I guess we're going to reiterate that it sounds like they defended themselves. I guess no one considered the option of maybe releasing them from their servitude and acknowledging them as equals?
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Well, not everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Alright, very well.
I should go.
See you later.
Alright. So, I think that's everybody. So, let's go ahead and get started, though we are getting a little long here. Oh, we may be able to do at least something. Let's see. Anything in the journal? Artemis Tau Cluster, which we'll be heading to anyway, and the Sparta system, and we'll look for the recon team. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, we need the galaxy map to actually leave. Alright, so we're heading to the Artemis Tau cluster and the Sparta system. Alright, now we're looking for the planet we can land on. Nope, not that one. I'm not going to read all of these descriptions.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Alright then. Well, any planet we land on, though, we'll read the description. Alright. Adolis is a terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Adolis' surface is covered by wide deserts of silicate sand, with only a few areas of igneous rock highlands to break the abrasive, dust-choked wind. Adolis' orbit is congested with debris thrown inwards by the gravity of the gas giant Antamalka. Due to a high rate of meteor impacts, exploration is highly dangerous. Alright, orbital period 2.7 Earth years, day length 50.3 Earth hours, surface temperatures -1 Celsius, I guess that's average. Pretty cold. Alright, let's land. Alright, we'll take Ashley and Caden, sure. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Any changes? Alright, so there's our distress signal. Place a marker. We have forward thrusters. Well, that's nice. One of the nice things about the vehicle from Andromeda. Oh, wait a minute. Why are you doing that? Uh-oh. That's right. There's a threat from all here. Oof. Oh, no, 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 no. I do not like that. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. Is there a way I can change that option? Mako camera relative steering off. Yes. Okay. There we go. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can actually see it moving in the ground. Oh, okay. Still got hit. Oh, is it? What? Oh, the tentacles. Okay. That's different. All right, got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm used to driving vehicles like this with independent turret and wheel controls. No. There we go. Repairing. Okay, let's hop out here. Alliance Marines.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
So it would seem.
These are Admiral Kahoku's men. We need to tell him what happened here.
Yep, we definitely will. Next time we're back on the Citadel. Alright, is there anything of any interest on this planet otherwise? There's an anomaly over there. I guess we can go take a look. And then we'll call it a day there. Well, those forward thrusters might make getting around certain areas a little bit easier. I think we need to get up a heavy slope. Alright, what do we have? A mummified Solarian. Hello?
Huddle up! Huddle up!
And why aren't we interacting with it? Odd. Strange. Okay then. Well, I guess we'll just leave it alone. Or I'm not able to interact with anything. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think I fixed it. There we go. Recover artifact. Yeah, that's what we want to do. ID tag recovered. We found Captain Milan's identification tag. How it ended up here is impossible to know for sure. Alright. There we go. I think we are mostly done here. There is that debris over there. Ooh, I'm starting to chug down a bit. Strange. Yeah, actually, we'll go ahead and check out this debris, and then we'll call it a day there. Alright, what do we got? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get into this. Let's see. Electronic skill too low. Yep. Okay. Well, we'll just leave it alone. Okay, let's head back to Normandy. Alright, I think with that, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. And then next time, we're going to go look for Liara. So, for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.